Kyrie praised KD as the first teammate he could trust in the late game situations. Bron said those comments from Kyrie, quote, hurt me a little bit. Nick, going to you. LeBron saying Kyrie's comments hurt me is blank.
Is also how I felt. I was wounded by this. When I saw what World B Flat had to say about LeBron, I was like, really, man? Like, that's where you're going to go? This guy raised you from a pup, took you from a 20-win team to 3 straight finals, could have kept going. You wanted to go spread your own wings, that's one thing. But now you're gonna tarnish the memories we have together? You're gonna every time you see the great shot against Golden State, be like, but what was he thinking? Was he thinking, oh, I better shoot this because we know LeBron can't make these? So yeah, Wilds, it hurt me too. So I feel, it's exactly how I felt in this situation. What? What's the okay? What? It's my answer.
No, it's fine. It's a fair answer. It's a fair answer. The Road Tripping Podcast, my answer is goldmine. And everyone involved in it. Channing Frye, my friend Gina is involved in it. RJ, Allie. You have provided the world with a gold mine of content. Every time, and it just came out part 2 today, every time I click on the YouTube link, there's another 10 minutes of show. And as a reward, I am going to buy cases, multiple cases of Channing's Wine Chosen Family. I will be celebrating that with my Chosen Family as a thank you to you. So Chosen Family Wine, fantastic job. We will be using this podcast as conversation fodder for the next 6 months. Thank you. Chosen Family.
All right.
Oh, we're back.
Let's stick with the
Gonna
king.
be more.
The Lakers open training camp in search of a repeat. Clearly, LeBron said on the repeat run, this year is a new challenge. Brandon, the biggest question mark for the Lakers with 2 weeks to go before the start of the season is blank. Those shorts.
No edge. That's the answer. Look, when you look at what's happened in 2020, global pandemic, COVID-19 affecting everyone, racial tension at an all-time high. And you talk about coming back to sports, you have to first think about who has the proper leadership. And the reason why I leaned on the Lakers, the Seattle Seahawks, the Pittsburgh Steelers is because of leadership. So now that everyone has a plan and everyone's prepared for the new norm, COVID-19, they don't have an edge. So I want to see, now that it's back to an even playing field, how do they respond now? Because in the bubble, you have the edge because you have LeBron James. LeBron James is one of the all-time ultimate leaders. So now you don't have that. Let's see what happens.
So my biggest question mark is LeBron going to get his 5th MVP? Now, I'm on the record. My MVP pick is Luka Doncic, my large adult Slovenian son. However,
interesting.
LeBron understands at this point, like, he knows he's getting to 6 rings. He knows he's getting the scoring title. And so it's like, what does Jordan have that I won't have? Jordan does have 5 league MVPs. LeBron has 4. Now, we all know in 2006 he should have won it over Nash, and in 2011 he should have won it over Rose, and in 2017 he should have won it over Russ. Everyone acknowledges LeBron should have 7, but he technically only has 4. And so I am curious if LeBron adds that to his wish list this year, particularly because, Wilds, I would argue Giannis could average 40 and 20, and the media ain't giving it to him. You win 2 straight MVPs and you don't make it to the NBA Finals. They're not giving you the next one. So I'm very curious to see if LeBron cares about that or if he tries to get it for Anthony Davis. So for me, it's will LeBron chase the MVP this year? Because we know they're winning the title.
I think that's a fascinating one, and I will use this to spice up your take. If he wants that MVP, how does he manage this season, Nick? He's got 71 days of rest. Durant's got 560. Kyrie's got 324. LeBron and AD have the fewest rest of anyone. We also know that right away, He feels a responsibility to put the league on his back. He's going to play opening night, and then he's going to play Christmas with two not must-win games, but he certainly wants to win them. Then does he take his foot off the gas? And how is that going to affect the MVP conversation? So I think how he manages rest throughout.
I'm here to talk about PJ Tucker. Anything outside of that?
First of all, I thought that was a 7-Up, and I was like, oh, that's old school, but it was Gatorade. Chris Broussard is joining us now. Broussard, good morning. We should mention all this on the fact that, we're just 2 weeks away, really, from the start of the season. My question to you would be, do the Rockets have to really consider dealing Harden before this situation becomes untenable now?
Well, Jen, if you're asking me, do they have to trade him before the season starts? I would say no. In the words of Kevin Durant, it's too soon, bro. It's too early, all right? You don't know how things are going to play out. You obviously haven't had a lot of communication with James Harden, if any. Okay, so you don't know, is he willing to sit out the entire training camp? Is he willing to sit out until the trade deadline or the entire season? You have to find all of that out first. And then secondly, there's other things that need to happen. See what your team looks like if James Harden's not there. How does John Wall, Boogie Cousins, Christian Wood, Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, how do they mesh together and play under Stephen Silas? That may give you a better idea of what you want back in a trade for James Harden. Then what happens in Brooklyn? What if Kyrie Irving gets hurt? We know he's injury prone. What if it doesn't gel and they look bad? Are they now willing to give up more? What if it does gel and they look terrific and look like, you know what, we shouldn't mess with this. We don't need James Harden. What about Philadelphia? What if Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid don't play well under Doc Rivers? Does Simmons become available at the trade deadline? Does Golden State get involved? Like, there's so many other things that could happen that right now you just need to sit tight, grit your teeth, and it's going to be tough, but you need to fight through this and don't give in just yet.
All right, so then, Brandon, let me ask you from a player's perspective. What do you think about the way James mishandling this situation?
Yeah, Jenna, a lot to unpack here. The business around the NBA player is different than the business around the NFL player. If you really look at it, when you look at the contracts, the guaranteed money, it's just different. The culture around how the NFL player, the NBA player approaches these situations is different. You can say this is unprecedented for an NBA player to hold out. We see this every single year in the National Football League. However, let's talk about legacy. There's a lot to unpack there. Don't have time to do all of that right now. But let's talk about legacy. 20 years from now, let's say he holds out. He gets exactly what he wants. He goes on to Brooklyn. He wins the championship. He has his ring. Will we be talking about James Harden's holdout? Probably not.
No.
Now, let's fast forward again. Let's stick to the 20-year script. He doesn't hold out. He goes and be the ultimate pro. He stays in Houston. He doesn't win the championship. 20 years from now, you know what we're going to be talking about? Oh, James Harden, one of the greatest players to never win a championship. He's right there alongside of Charles Barkley. That's what we're going to be talking about, legacy. Yep. Players hear this. That's right. We talk about this all the time. Legacy, legacy, legacy. We break down KD. We break down LeBron. We break down MJ. We break down Kobe. Legacy, legacy, legacy. So what is this player supposed to do? So what I would say is, Charles Barkley, he is the face of it in the NBA. He made his move at 29, and they said it was 2 years too late. Our buddy Goodwill over at Yahoo Sports said it was 2 years too late. James Harden is 31. Nick, what do you want him to do?
Be a professional, and is what I want him to do. And I want to give a little context here. I don't think there's been anyone on national television that has supported James Harden more than me over the last 5 years. I really believe that. I think he's the 26th greatest player in the history of this great league. I think he is somehow underrated amongst the media as far as how hard it is to do what he does. And I'm a guy who has always supported players versus management. I am here to see the players. I am not here to see the owners or the franchises or I am here for the players. So it is almost impossible to get me on management's side. But Harden might have done it. And Harden might also have found himself getting his fellow players on management's side. I'm not a journalist, but I occasionally practice a little journalism. And I knew where I wanted to go with this Harden thing last night. So I called a couple agents, texted a couple players. And guess what? Not a single one of them supported him. Because this isn't how professionals act. One of the quotes that was said to me that I think resonates was, big difference between being a professional athlete and being a professional. And in the midst of a pandemic, going on a coast-to-coast tour of clubs, giving Lil Baby $100,000 and